Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your December general Tarotscope. It's Raina here. And for a lot of us, this is our birthday month. So happy birthday to my fellow Sagittarians. So, as the month begins, we are fully in Sag and fully in the holiday season. Obviously, some people don't celebrate certain holidays in December, but they live in a society where other people are celebrating, so it does affect them as well. And the sun is going to be in your first house for most of the month. And then on the winter solstice, it changes into Capricorn. And so the sun is going into the second house of earned income. So for the first 3 weeks, it's in the sign of the personal self image for Sagittarius. So this is kind of a PR placement where you shine very brightly. It being your birthday time, this is a very rejuvenating feeling to have the sun in your own sign. And actually, on the 11th, there's going to be a new moon in Sagittarius. So that kind of ups the ante with this sort of solar return energy. And it's a great manifestation moon. So set your intentions for the coming year. And Venus is going to go in the sign of Sagittarius on the 4th of the month. And so this gives Sagittarians a lot of appeal, even if they're not trying very hard. And this is very helpful in terms of PR as well, because you can sell yourself in terms of your image to other people in a professional setting. If you have some kind of job that you're interviewing for, or if you have your own company, your own home business, it's a great time to attract new clientele. Mars is still going to be in the sign of Libra during the month of December. And so this is the 11th house that's being activated during this time with that Martian energy that's very aggressive and energizing, enterprising. And the 11th house relates to group issues, friendship. And of course, it's not out of the ordinary for there to be increased socializing during the month of December, but it just points to the ability to network very well as to reconnect with people that you may not have seen for a long time, or even joining groups that deal with humanitarian issues that you're interested in. A big one might be political organizations. Jupiter has been in the sign of Virgo and will continue to be there until next September. So, this is going to be in your 10th house of career. So, this lucky, expansive energy is doing its thing. On the 9th, Mercury is going into Capricorn, and that will be in your second house of earned income. And so, you might start the wheels turning in terms of ideas for different income streams, and also thinking about the money that's coming in, the money that's going out, and wondering if there's some way to restructure your finances. Remember that Saturn is in the sign of Sagittarius for the next 2.5 years. So there's going to be some sort of streamlining in the life of a Sagittarian altogether. And this is just one area that might be looked at, especially when Mercury is kind of injecting a lot of thought into Sagittarius's money affairs. Now, on the 15th, there's an exact square between the Sun and Jupiter, and this engages the first and 10th houses. So, this may suggest that some Sagittarians are feeling a conflict between what they do currently in terms of career and how they see themselves, what they want for themselves. And so it's something to definitely look at. And with the sun going into the second house, on the 21st. This adds more of a spotlight on the earned income sector, and this directly relates to career, obviously. So that might be something that people are rethinking, especially when Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde on January 5th when it has just entered Aquarius, and it will be going back into Capricorn and therefore the second house. And that will rethink a lot of this kind of area of life. We have a full moon in Cancer at 3 degrees of Cancer, which occurs on Christmas Day, and this falls in the eighth house. And so, any kind of inheritance issues that have been up in the air, this might be the time when things get finalized. If you've had some sort of issue with loans, you might hear back about that then. And basically, any money that you do not earn, a spouse's income may increase. It also relates to any kind of occult matters. So there could be some kind of insight that you have that relates to metaphysics. It might stimulate interest in this area. It might be a very sexy time for some Sagittarians. I really think that December is going to be a career and money month in a lot of ways because the first house really can be a lot about self promotion. And then we have the second house activity. The eighth house is another money house. And then the 10th house, the career house with Jupiter there. So I think that Sagittarians should take advantage of this energy in December, even though it's a holiday month and there's a temptation to kind of just chill and be laid back. This might be a very good time to do things in regards to career because in January we have Mercury retrograding back into the second house of earned income. And then Jupiter is also going to go into retrograde motion a couple of days after Mercury. So this might be a good time to kind of get those projects off the ground in December before there might be some sort of slowdown in the second and 10th houses. This might actually neutralize anything of that sort. Okay, Sagittarius. So the first card I picked to describe the energy coming into December is the Ten of Pentacles. And this is a card that is most associated with family wealth. And this can include inheritance. So whether this is something that is on the radar for you right now or not, there may be some family money that is in the picture in some capacity as we enter into December. And it may be that you receive word on this. Now, remember, I said something about the full moon in Cancer on Christmas Day, may be related to some sort of settlement in regards to a will. Well, it may be that you find out more information about this earlier because at the end of November, there will be a full moon in the sign of Gemini, which is Sagittarius's opposite sign, and it will be in the seventh house. And this can also relate to legal affairs in addition to long term relationships of a romantic nature, like marriages. So, for some Sagittarians, there may be some judgment rendered at the end of November. And so, the energy going into December is revolving around this court case decision. Perhaps it is related also to a divorce, and your family is stepping in and they are offering assistance for you at that time. Maybe they are giving you property so that you can raise your children. There are many obvious permutations for this card, but it's a wonderful card. Some of you may be getting married to somebody who has a lot of dough, which is kind of cool if the person is a complete asshat. That would be nice. Uh, so, um, but who knows? Maybe if you have a lot of money, you can overlook asshattery. But so that's that. Oh, lovely. The leaf blowers are at it again. Um, I am so glad that we are having like 6 inches of snow tomorrow because that's the only thing that will stop the leaf blowers. So that's all I want to say about that. So, anyway, the second card relates to the symbolism of the month of December overall, and it is the Ten of Wands. And this is a card that is associated with burden and working very hard, but this could indicate that if you have your own business, it's very successful, or even your career. It's just that you may be feeling quite overwhelmed. There are two ways, obviously, of looking at it. And so, as I said before with the astrology, I do feel that this is a career month, surprisingly, for Sagittarians, because we are in a holiday season and a birthday season. But for some reason, with these kinds of placements, it seems like you are going to be working quite hard. Now, interestingly enough, I found out that this card also corresponds to Saturn and Sagittarius. So, what could be more apropos than that? That's exactly what's happening right now. And Sagittarians are taking on more responsibilities at this point. I think that it depends on your mindset. A lot of Sagittarians are so in love with freedom that any kind of infringement on their free time, even when it comes to making more money, is seen as unwelcome. But for those who feel in control of their career, maybe you have your own business, it's possible that you're going to be quite harried. But if you manage your time wisely, it might turn out to be both profitable and very fulfilling. The counterpart to this overall energy, but the spiritual counterpoint, which is the Empress card, a major arcana card, which suggests that no matter what goes on in this month, definitely connect to the pleasurable side of life and make sure to make time to enjoy some creature comforts. This is also telling you that you can be very creative and you might be coming up with some great ideas if you're an artist or even an entrepreneur that can be very creative. So don't think that it's going to be all work and no play. You have to possibly really budget your time properly in order to sneak some of this in. But the universe definitely wants you to relax and enjoy yourself as well, even if you do find that your workload is increasing. The advice is the Seven of Wands. So it could be that you are called to defend yourself in some fashion. It also advises you to be yourself, don't conform to other people's expectations. The outcome card is the World card in reverse. And so maybe some Sagittarians still feel like there's one thing left that you haven't accomplished that you want to accomplish. And so this card asks you to go and look at that desire and see if it needs to be tweaked, see if you are being unrealistic about it. But this is a wonderful card, any way you slice it. It also may be that you need to do some more inner work in order to accomplish these outer goals. And so that is why going within is so important, because with that 10 of wands there may be this sense of thinking that is outmoded that you still are clinging to, that it's an upstream battle to accomplish your goals. I'm taking that term from Abraham Hicks, where they talk about going upstream, working too hard to achieve what you want. It's asking you to really contemplate your thought patterns and see if there's something that is holding you back. Because when you can break free from that, the whole world is your oyster. So, Sagittarius, I wish you a wonderful December. and a great new year. Take care. Bye.